First of all, give me a sense of what these elections mean. Elections on December 24th, what does it mean for the economy?
I mean, it means a lot for Libya and Libyan people, and we hope that it goes, in the right direction, And in any way, the central bank, will deal with the outcome of the election in any way.
Governor, talk to me a little bit about oil. I think you mentioned in the summer, and speaking to Bloomberg, that you think Libya should increase the amount of oil it puts on the market to 1.8 million barrels a day to be on the safer side for the budget. Has this been discussed?
The oil, it's very important for us. As you know, it represents 95% of our revenue so far. So keeping, oil on, the production and export, so this will help us on moving ahead.
Yeah, but are authorities behind it? So the National Oil Corporation is really still talking about a budget crisis and its need, for more funding to boost production.
No, we did fund them, and they are in negotiation with the government to increase, their needs, but we're ready to fund them.
So what are you expecting in terms of total revenue from oil, given the fluctuation that we saw in the price of oil?
I mean, so far so good. The impact on us, as central bank, no deficit with regard to the budget, and no deficit in the balance of payment, especially with the higher prices in oil, the last months, and it's good for us.
How do you see the price of oil evolving?
The price of oil, this is one of the shocks that we seen it before. Until we diversify our economy, it's very important for us, to keep, at least, the $60 per price, which is very important for us.
Governor, in general, we're talking about Omicron, the virus, how much it will hit demand for oil, what kind of economies we'll be dealing with. What's your main concern in this juncture in the economy?
Definitely, the corona. It affected us all. We are not, during the war and after the war. It is big concern for us and for the government as well. How to deal with it and how to cope with it. So far, the government managed to vaccinate, most of the Libyans, which is very good news, so far.
Governor, we're also talking about the reunification of the central bank, right? This week was an important step towards that. When do you think it will happen?
So the unification is very important for us. As you know, it's good news for CBL, and good news for Libya and the Libyan people. And we asked Deloitte to be as our advisor for unification. We expect that, the 6 months' time will cope with this, unification process.
And what are the main benefits for this unification?
We can consolidate, the monetary policy. We can consolidate, the funding to the government. We can consolidate, the follow-up and monitor the exchange rate, and also, we funding. You can consolidate the funding to the government as well. So it's very, 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 very important, and also very important for our relationship with the international community as well.
Governor, can you give me a precise figure for the net foreign reserves that you have at the moment?
Normally, we cannot discuss, in public, about the net reserve, because it has huge impact on the fixed rate,
So, but it's something that, because it fluctuates, or is it something
we managed, so far, since the split and the war took place in 2014, our concern was the sustainability of the country, so we managed well, and we are on the right path.
Okay, or do you have any plans for external borrowing?
External?
Borrowing.
No, so far no.
Why not?
Maybe, it depends on the vision of the government, with regard to the future investment, medium and long term. But it can be, But to get loans to fund, public expenditure without development, it's not recommended.
Governor, I was looking at some of the figures. Total local debt, you said, was at a very dangerous level, I think of 270%
Correct.
of GDP.
It's local debt, yeah, it's local debt.
Okay, so how do you plan to take us down?
You know, this subject to the, of course, the central bank cannot deal with it. You know, it has to be, law governing this debt, which is, cooperation between the government and the parliament. And we are ready to help and support in that regard.
Governor, oil is, of course, the main earner for Libya. How do you think the country will need to diversify as we get into the next couple of decades?
You see the problem of Libya, that, the distortion of the economy. We used to, the private sector used to contribute 80% of our GDP in 69 until 75.
Yep.
Then, when Gaddafi came, he nationalized everything. So now, it is very important for us and for the Libyans how to pave the way for the private sector to grow and it will lead us to diversify our economy.